a selective mute. I was a selective mute when I was 8, and I started coming out of it, I think, when I was about 21. If anybody knows what a selective mute is, okay. If you do not know, let me tell you. A selective mute is just that. You're mute, but only with a selected group of people. I tended to talk when I was a selective mute to my family, my mother and my father, and maybe 3 other people. But I never spoke at family functions, I never spoke in school, I never spoke really in public. I was absolutely terrified to speak in public to anybody. I have a horrible fear of upsetting people, to the point that I've stayed in very bad relationships. I've had issues with people that I've never been able to confront due to my fear of upsetting people. And the story is very hard for me to tell, so if I kind of appear very catatonic, it's just kind of a numbing agent that my brain does to kind of put up with things like this. Okay. When I was 8 years old, I can't exactly remember what I was doing, but I was 8 years old in 2nd grade. I was an older 2nd grader, but I was in the 3rd grade math classroom. I don't remember exactly what I had done, but this has kind of really influenced me with people. I remember my math teacher, I'm assuming, pulled me to the back of the classroom, and I don't know if she was shaking me or if I was shaking because I was really scared. I just remember like just kind of shaking, but I don't want to say she was or she wasn't because I cannot remember. But I don't remember what she said, but I just remember how just her face, she was so angry, her face was just very red. If I was a better artist, I could draw it because it has just been implanted in my brain. I have never been able to get rid of that, and it has been something that has always really scared me. And I just remember that happening. I don't know how long it had happened, but I do remember the whole room was quiet, and that I can't remember what happened next. But I think she just walked off, and I was 8. And I don't know how old she was. I think she was in her 30s. I'm not quite sure. I don't see her anymore. I still live in the same village as she does. I have never brought this up because I don't think she remembers. And I don't really want her to remember because it has been something I have never been able to forget, nor have I been able to forgive because I don't know what I had done as a little 8-year-old girl. But I just am absolutely terrified every time somebody raises their voice, if somebody just looks at me, if somebody says they're upset, if somebody says just anything with a slight hint of just being mad, I shut down. I don't speak, or I'm very apologetic, because if I apologize first, maybe it won't happen again. If I just say I'm sorry, if I'm just quiet enough, if I just don't say anything, I won't get hurt again. Now, this might not really be as impactful to you guys as it was to me, but this has been always something that I have always been terrified of. And I believe this did really have an impact on how I formed relationships. And the fact that one of my best friends is one of the nicest people to me. And I feel like I've really taken that for granted, and I feel like I've ruined that. And I'm trying to meet other people and to form other friendships. It's just very difficult because I am very scared. When I form a friendship, I just don't want to let it go, and it tends to get very messy because I just don't know when it's just gonna end.